Hey. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and like if you like this kind of content or share it, which would help me a lot. Now, let's get started. In today's video, we will be talking about the great frustration that happened between the French drivers at the Japanese Grand Prix, Suzuka. And the controversy occurred between Alpine drivers Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon. Gasly was frustrated and dissatisfied after the Alpine team's strategy left him in 10th place. This all started when Gasly had less worn tires than Ocon and was closing the gap between his teammate and his teammate, so there was a chance that he could challenge for 8th place with Alonso. Alpine's technical team communicates with Esteban Ocon to let Gasly pass, but Ocon says, if he can't pass Alonso, let him give me the position. So he lets Gasly pass in the next corner, but not being able to fight for the 8th place, in the last lap Alpine's team communicates to Gasly to let Ocon pass. Since that had been the agreement with the French driver, Gasly tries to convince them that he would have passed him anyway because he had been doing better times and had even done better qualifying, which is true, but the team informed him that they were orders, so Gasly had to give up his position to his teammate. Here we see the reactions in which, at the end of the race, he does not stop making signs of dissatisfaction with his entire team, and it cannot be for less.
Swap back around, please. Please, Pierre.
I'm doing it.
Copy, thank you. Don't have to say anything now. We'll discuss it after.
He went out to the press saying, just a bit frustrated because we need to swap positions in the last lap. I don't fully understand it. I don't really see the need, but we will talk internally. After being told of Gasly's frustrations, Ocon said, well, I've been with this team for 4 years, and the rule has always been the same, that if you swap the position, initially, which I did to Pierre, I gave him the position. If you don't get the car in front, then you always switch back before the end. With Ocon in 9th and Gasly in 10th place, it was Alpine's second double points finish after Zandvoort in the last 9 races. Gasly went from 12th on the grid to taking the solitary point on offer, and he insisted that it was reflective of where Alpine are at the moment. Moving on to another big surprise from the Alpine team, Alpine reveals talks with Mick Schumacher over potential endurance racing program. Alpine's interim team boss Bruno Famin has revealed that the brand has held talks with Mick Schumacher about a possible participation in the World Endurance Championship in 2024. Schumacher has been acting as Mercedes' F1 reserve driver this season after losing his race seat at Haas at the end of 2022. And it is that if we talk about his season with Haas, perhaps we could consider that he had many mistakes that ended up costing him losses, valued at $2 million for a team like Haas, that has an interest in maintaining a considerable single-seater to compete in 7th place. The 2021 season was a real headache for Günther Steiner. Team principal, however, having already passed the years, Mick Schumacher has been gaining experience, and Alpine preparing to return to the top of the world. Endurance racing in the new hypercar category of the World Endurance Championship, aiming to add to its 1978 24 Hours of Le Mans victory. So it would be good timing for both parties. As for Alpine's F1 efforts, Famin, who was recruited as its temporary team boss in the midst of a leadership review shortly before the summer break, provided an update on how his initial assessment of the team is progressing. Famin previously described the reorganization, which saw team principal Ottmar Safnauer and former sporting director Alan Permain depart, and will be followed by Pat Fry heading to Williams as its technical director, as the second phase of Alpine's journey. Famin came out to the press saying, at the end of July we made some pretty good and pretty big changes within the team, he said. This created a new mentality in the track team. I'm pretty happy with what I've seen so far. I think since then we've had some pretty good runs in terms of strategy execution. We have a lot of potential, but the difficulty is getting everyone together to create more performance, and that's what I'm evaluating now. So for the moment, the Alpine team gives us the start of a new stage. I think so. We'll even see how they do at the end of the season. Comment below what you think. If Alpine will have better results in the future, and if Mick Schumacher is a good option for the team at this moment, that's all for today. I'll say goodbye. See you next weekend. Bye!